Well, hello YouTube, and welcome to, gosh, I guess this is the second season, episode 1 of the Bath City Save. Before we get into what we're going to go over this episode, let's go ahead and roll that beautiful intro music. Hello YouTube, this is NC Jester here with the first episode of the second season of the Bath City Save. Figure what I do before we actually get into any match play or anything, just kind of go over some of the changes that we looked at, some of the things that we saw happen over the summer. I've spent a lot of time going through, looking at some players, some things that we need to do. First thing real quick, I just want to show you one of the things I ran into was I lost my sponsor in February. No sponsor. So we went from February until May without a sponsor deal. Our last sponsor, we were getting, I think it's £7,000 on the sponsorship deal, but we did sign a new sponsor. It's going to run until May 14th of 2019. It's £17,000 so per year, so that's a huge increase that's going to help us out quite a bit. I was really pleased about that. One other thing that happened is I finished my coaching course that I was on, and I also won the coach of the season for the Vanarama South. So I was really kind of surprised with that. I'd only won coach of the month once. Another guy, I can't remember, had won it like 4 or 5 times, but I was able to pull out the victory as coach of the year. I've got a new contract that's going to run until next year, 2018, so we're real excited about that. I did make a couple changes on the staff. So the big one was this guy right here. I brought in Rab Douglas. I had a goalkeeper and coach. I thought when I hired him, another one of the mistakes that I made, I thought when I hired him that he would be able to work in other areas, and he wasn't. The only thing that he would do is goalkeeping. So as soon as I could, I got rid of his contract and got him gone, brought in Rab Douglas, who ironically the goalkeeping coach I had a goalkeeping rating of 5. This guy's got a goalkeeping rating of 15. His attack, defend, and fitness are not bad, but I brought him in mainly for the goalkeeper because that was the big issue I was dealing with. How was I going to deal with the fact that I did not have a good keeper? And that's what a lot of my time was spent scouting, was trying to find a keeper. So we got that taken care of. We brought this guy, and I'm really pleased. I hope that we can keep him around. And as you saw in a previous episode, I brought in Ross Perimeter as my head of youth development, which I was just shocked to get him. So I was really pleased to get him to come in with his kind of ratings. I'm hoping that he can really kind of push the envelope as far as bringing in guys. And I got him on a salary of £170 a week, so I'm really pleased with that. With the side, we've got a couple guys that we're trying to bring in on trial. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but we lost 2 guys. Carl Martin, he had been filling in for me. I kind of used him in a fill-in role. He started complaining he wanted to play his preferred position, which I thought was right defensive back. That's what I put him in. At the end of the season, he was complaining because he didn't have that. He wouldn't sign a contract. So we just released him on a free, and he's still sitting out there looking for a job. The other one that we lost was Steve Phillips. Had been our goalkeeper, and he was 38 when I took over, 39 now, and he announced that he was retiring. If I had known before I had just made this other hire that he was going to retire, I would have brought him in as my as a coach, because he's got a 11 rating as a goalkeeper. Would have been nice to continue that history with him, but I had already made that hire. I can't bring in another coach, so who knows what's going to happen in the future. We may bring him back, but we lost him. We did bring 4 guys in. The first one I brought in was to give me some depth up front. It's Micah Evans. I got him in on a free. He's estimated value at 16, almost £17,000. He's young, 24, still got some room to develop, but he gives me some versatility up front. He can play attacking midfielder, right, left, center, striker. He can play midfield, right and left, and he's got an awful lot of potential. Nothing really major stands out. He's got a pace of 8, stamina of 9, crossing and dribbling of 8. I mean, he's pretty pretty medium across the board, but I think moving forward he's going to give us some real good depth. One of the things I was concerned about him looking at his coaching report is his decision making. So that's what we're working with him on, and he can be selfish, but we can kind of deal with that. And I was really pleased with his agility as well. One of the other changes, guys that I brought in, was Kieran Morris. So we had him in on loan last season, and he really kind of filled in well for us as a central defender. So we got him, signed him in on £350 a week. He's young again, 22, got some good potential. He's a good player for the North-South League, and he's got some problems with determination. So we're going to be looking at training him up for that. He's probably, if I can't get him out on loan, he's going to be playing on the under 23s. And if we look at his abilities, once again, concentration of 11, aggression of 11, heading, marking, tackling. Overall, I'm really kind of pleased. Determination is one, like I said, I want to kind of pull up with him. So that gave me some depth up front and along the back. This was the one I was really pleased about. My big concern was keeper. I did not have a keeper. I had Corey Harvey was going to be my starting keeper, and not bad, but he needs to grow. And one of the things I was concerned about, and I've noticed in this game, he's only 5'10", and I think that hinders him some. So I was frantically looking for a keeper, and I found Aiden Grant. Aiden is worth about 10,000 pounds. We brought him in on £240 a week, which I was shocked at. With his contract, if I remember correctly, yeah, I got him for 2 years at that salary, so I'm really pleased with that. And he, aerial reach of 17, command of area, I want to work on that. One-on-ones, I'm really pleased with these 10 rating on that. Reflexes of 13. Decisions and concentration, we need to work on that as well. But I think the potential is there of what I'm looking for, so I'm hoping he can really give us some depth there. I was really pleased to kind of find him. I was looking at a lot of different keepers. That's who I was mainly concentrating on, and the ones I found that were really good wouldn't talk to me. So they did not think that I met their desire level, I guess is a way to put it. And I'm going to see if I just realized. The other I brought in on a free was Billy Simpson. Billy Simpson can play right back, or he can play center back. And once again, I think he gives us some good depth along that back line. It says that he is injured, but it's just out 1 to 3 days, and he had his stub toe, so it's not something that I'm really concerned about with him. The thing that when I looked at his report, nothing is red, which I thought was really good. He's a natural at a few positions, has a lot of speed. We're going to need to work on his marking, and I know that. It's not at a 7. It's not where I want it to be, but I think that he's once again going to add some real young depth. He's 20, so I'm really pleased with what we've got there. The side that I have that I'm going to probably be starting with is going to have Grant across the back and in goal. Manny's going to be playing that left back again. Franz Seminger, or however you say his name, Jack Batten are my central defenders, and I've got looking at Richard Bryan is my right defensive back, and I'm going to see how that works out with Billy Murphy and Frankie Artis in the middle, Nabi Diallo on the right, Spat in the middle, and Shaquille coming down the left. And right now I've got Stuart Fleetwood going to be in goal for us. Just to kind of let you know how he ended up, I think I forgot to share this with you. He ended up last season with 34 goals. I mean, it was just phenomenal the way he was able to do things. He plays as a defensive forward, and once I kind of figured out, this is one of the things I learned, folks, once I figured out to put him on that position, he just kind of took off. And if we look at his career stats from last year, 36 appearances, 28 goals, 5 assists, 4 players of the match, 7.27 rating. Just really, really pleased with that. And I think that even though I think he's 31, we're still gonna get what we want out of him. Is pace is 11. So I've got somebody sit there. I've also, Thomas Shepard is kind of who I'm looking at to groom to come in this. He's 19, needs to get a little bit faster. He's got some work to do, but I think the potential is there. He plays as an advanced forward or a poacher, so a little bit different style, and if that's what I want to go to, I've got somebody I can call on to put in that position. Overall, I'm really kind of pleased with the way the site is going out. Once we get through the friendlies and I've had a chance to evaluate everybody, I'll sit back down and explain to you what the whole depth is going to look like. One of the things that the fans and the board was not happy with me about is Faisal Hamadi. Faisal I brought in last year. They were not pleased with the way he played. I thought for a 24-year-old, I thought he was playing pretty well. They did not want me to re-sign him, but I signed him on another contract of £275 a week. I just think there's a lot of potential there, and I saw some good things with him there. I want him to work on his jumping, but I think that, he's got a decision-making of 12, marking of 13. Awful lot of potential there, I think. So I may end up biting behind over this one, but I went against the recommendations of everybody on that one. If we look real quickly at the team report, our best attribute is leadership, our worst is strength. And that's kind of what I've seen with it. Shaquille Hunter, I know I'm bouncing around a little bit. I forgot that I was going to kind of show this guy to you guys. Shaquille, let me see if I can find him here, also led the league last year in assists. He had we go to his career stats, it should give he had 18 assists last year. So I'm hoping that kind of form continues. I didn't make a lot of changes on the side, to be honest. I wanted to kind of keep finances under control. We've still got about 112 pounds that we can spend per week on wages. I'm going to be trying to send some of these guys out on loan to get them some playing time, because I know it's not going to happen with us. The competition expectations, they want me to fight against relegation, and I think that's going to be realistic. We got so lucky last year to even finish as high in the Vanarama South that we did, let alone win it. FA Cup, they want us to go to the fourth qualifying round, and the FA Trophy to the first round. I think those are realistic for us. I just don't think I have the depth to compete at the national level, but we did get £5,000 for being at this level, so that's going to be a nice bonus for us. Our schedule, and we've got our first friendly coming up in, I think, 2 days, is going to be against Southampton, and it's at home. I know that's going to be, we're going to get killed, but this is one I'm looking at as a moneymaker thing. Maybe they're projecting we're going to make about £15,000 on it. I hope that comes true. The next one we have next Saturday is against Crystal Palace. Same thing. Looking at about £10,000 on that one, roughly. So then we've got a friendly away to TNS, the New Saints, and also to Hereford West, and then we finish up with one against Brackley. One thing I want to ask you guys, go back here real quick to my transfers. Stephen Phillips. I've never scheduled a testimonial. He played at Crew for 2 years, and then he played 2 years here with us. What are the conditions for setting up a testimonial? Should we schedule one for Stephen Phillips? How do we do that? He's bounced around. He spent most of his time, it looks like, at Crew. Should I wait to see what happens? How do I deal with that? Or do I just let him kind of ride off into the sunset and hope that we can sign him as a goalkeeping coach later? So, but let me know what you guys think about it. So if we do, that's something I'm not sure how I would set up, because I'm already past that. So maybe moving forward, what's the criteria you guys use for setting up testimonials? Or does the game turn around and offer that to you? The TNS match, if I remember correctly, it is the match that we're doing with them is some kind of testimonial type thing. But anyway, August 5th is when we start the league play. Our first league game is going to be away at Southport, and I think what we'll do is we'll come back and we'll kind of catch up to speed on the friendlies that we played, and then we'll do that Southport match live, and then we'll kind of go from there. This is going to be an interesting ride, folks. I don't think we're going to have the success that we had last year. There's no way. There's just no way. The level of competition is much, much higher. Oh, one thing I do want to share, which I thought was really kind of cool. Last year, we sold about 250 season tickets. As of today, which is July 7th, the club has sold 178. They're expecting to sell about 300 more, which would take us to about 500 season tickets in total. So, double what we sold last year. So that's great for us. Last year, we sold out about 10 to 12% of the stadium. I would like us to double that. Let's get up to 20%. Maybe we can start pulling the guys in. One other thing that has happened, and I just remembered this as well. My owner has made an announcement. He will retire May 25th of 2018, so in 1 year. Folks, tell me what's going to happen. My owner's going to retire, which means I guess there's going to be a board takeover. Is my job going to be at risk? What happens with this guy retiring? Because this is a new one for me whatsoever. Favorite personnel, I just noticed this. I'm one of the favorite personnel at the club, which, hey, that's pretty cool. The media's got us projected to come in at 24th in the league, and I think that's honest to be fair, or fair to be honest, and I'll get it right one of these times. Anyway, this is the preview, I guess, for the start of the new season. One other thing, we've kind of changed the name, if you haven't noticed, of the series, the history of the club. So we are now going to be calling the series The Rise of the Romans. Tell me what you think of that. Is that a good name? This is the way that we're going to be going. So that's kind of where we're at, and let's go ahead and wrap this thing up, folks. Well, there you go, folks. There you have it. The end of the first episode of the second season of Rise of the Romans here. I hope that you approve of what I'm doing with this tide. If you have not done so, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. See how I'm doing with this. I try to upload on Tuesdays and Thursdays and one day over the weekend according to what my schedule is at school. And if you like this episode, go ahead and hit the like down there for me. And let's just see what goes on with this thing. And give me some advice. Tell me what's going to happen, because this is all new ground for me. But anyway, folks, I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoy watching as much as I do preparing it and recording it for you. But either way it goes, I hope that you have a good day, and I'll see you back for the next episode.